Okay. Yep. Okay. I've got the screen and the chat, and I'm good. Did I move too much in my camera? That's good. Okay. Yep. Everything's fine. I can see the stream. We are in the we are so back thing, but yeah.
So, hello everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. We have a special guest today. I'm not showing his video yet, but we met on the internet basically. He's one of my good internet friends, and hopefully I'll see him in real life one day. But he agreed to have a live stream with me because we've been talking on Discord and just brainstorming about stuff and like chatting about Rust and just vibing, and just wanted to record this, one of those sessions I guess, and just have a nice chat. So I'm gonna share his video. Roland, welcome to my channel.
Hello. Nice to have me. It's super nice to be here.
So tell us about yourself, man. I like, first of all, the title is clickbait. You're not like a Rust beginner anymore.
Kind of.
Yeah,
I
mean,
like...
Before this, you told me that exactly 1 year ago you started your first Rust project. So I mean,
yeah.
In a year you can just do a lot of things in Rust. So tell us about yourself, man. Like, who is Roland?
Yeah, right. So yeah, I was born in France. I'm French. My accent would probably betray me very soon, but yeah, I was born in France, and I left school when I was like 14. And yeah, I'm going way back, but that's actually relevant. But yeah, I left school when I was 14, and then I became a lumberjack when I was like 15. And I left my parents' home when I was like 17. And then after that, I did a bunch of different works. I've been like 47 different things in my life. And so I did a lot of different jobs, and like from being a construction worker to being a lumberjack to being an actor to being like many things. And right now I'm living in Japan. I'm living in Fukuoka in Japan, and I'm a creative director. And I'm working at a web company, kind of, not really web development, it's more like events and stuff. And I'm experienced designer, doing real events and interaction with people and relationship design and things like that. But that has nothing to do with programming. And actually, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry. First hiccup. It happens.
That happens, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. What were you saying again?
Yeah, that's all right. I was saying, like, I always was interested in technical stuff, and I say technical stuff because I've never went to high school, So I was interested in coding, in programmation, in math, in things like that. But I don't have any background in all that, so I thought it was out of my reach, so to say. And when AI started to boom, like 2 years ago or something, I thought maybe I could use AI in order to teach myself the things I don't know. And that's how I started to get into programming, because I wanted to use AI to teach me the things I don't know, so that I could catch the gap between what I want to know and what I actually know. You know, so that's actually how I started getting into programmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said like you worked as like a lumberjack and actor and like what did you what how I'm curious about
Right.
that.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, when I was 14, I did something that's called like well, I have ADHD. That might be obvious to everyone, but like I have ADHD, and so I'm easily distracted. I'm easily bored with the things I'm used to do. So I want to change all the time. I want to move. I want adrenaline. I want like things like that. So I did not have a good time at school. And when I was like 14, I did a school refusal, like a school phobia kind of thing. And so I stopped going to school. And after that, I thought, okay, I want to go to China and I want to go there, but I don't have money. So let's learn some skill that I can sell along the way and go to China by walking, you know. Like one dude, that's a normal plan, right? And so, so I just planned to do that with a friend of mine, and I thought, if I want to do that, I need some skills that I can sell anywhere. And in my mind, when I was a kid, I thought, okay, if I'm a lumberjack, there's wood everywhere. I can just like work in it anywhere I am. So let's do that, and I'm gonna get muscled, and I'm gonna get handsome and rough, and then that's gonna be good. And so yeah, I did 2 years of lumberjack training, and I have an official license of wood forest worker. Yeah. So yeah,
That's just crazy, man. I didn't know about this. I mean,
yeah.
well, did you end up going to China?
Well, yeah, I did go to China, but not walking. Actually, after that, when I was 17, I left my parents' place and I started living alone in a different place. And I started living with the guy with whom I wanted to go to China by walking. And it was maybe like 3 months after we got our first apartment, it completely burned down in a house fire.
Damn.
And I was not in the apartment at the time, but my friend was. And well, he jumped. He was safe, you know. He jumped from the apartment, but that kind of cooled down his desire for adventure for a while. And so the project just changed, and I did a bunch of other things, and I did not end up to go to China by walking in the end. But yeah, after that, I did a bunch of other work, and I think I was 20 or something when I had like a first big depression kind of phase. And at that time, I thought, okay, like what were my dreams when I was a kid, and I'm gonna try to do my dreams. And so I had 3 dreams at the time. The first one was being how to say that, discoverer, you know, like discover something amazing. And but there's not a lot of things to discover in the world anymore, so I thought maybe not that. And the second one was being an inventor. But being an inventor, you need to be smart, and you need to go to school, you need to have a lot of knowledge, and I did not have any knowledge, so I thought maybe not that. And the third one was being an actor. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go to Paris and study acting for a while. And I did that. I went to Paris. I did 2 years of acting training, mostly in theater and stuff, but little productions as well. And yeah, I wrote a play with a friend of mine, and I wanted a violinist in the play. And so I met this Japanese violinist girl, and she was nice. And when she went back to Japan and she became my girlfriend, I thought, okay, I want to study, and I want to, you know, like, I didn't go to high school, so I want to learn the things I missed. And so I will study on my own. But if I need to study, I don't need to be in France. So maybe I can go to Japan and just like chill in Japan and study while I'm there, and maybe we can do something together. So I went to Japan, and that was the first time I went to Japan. So yeah, I spent 6 months in Japan, like just doing classical music concept tours around Japan, and reading French poetry in classical music concerts, and that worked well. It was nice, but I did not study at all, so that did not work really well. But yeah, that's what I did. And then I came back to France to pass my end of high school test kind of thing. It's called the baccalaureate in French, but it's like every student at the end of high school have a big exam, and they need to pass it in order to go to university. And so I just said, fuck it. I did not study, but I'll just go straight to the exam. And I actually got it. So I got it, and I was able to go to university, study Japanese. And then I studied for 3 years or so. I went to Japanese university to do my research on Japanese writing and calligraphy. And then I never left Japan. So here I am. Yeah.
So since when are you living in Japan now?
It's been 10 years this year.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
I think your story is like truly inspiring with regards to
all the ADHD.
No, it's like you followed your dreams basically. You wanted to like be an actor. You did that. You wanted to go to China. You didn't walk that far, but
yeah,
you know, like it's very fun story. But like coming back to today,
yeah.
How did you end up with Rust?
Yeah, so when AI started coming up, I thought this is my chance, right? I don't need to know everything to start doing stuff because AI can do it for me. And that was like GPT 3.5 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, okay, I can become the first vibe coder basically. And so I thought, all right, I'm gonna vibe code the shit out of that. And I started like being kind of an AI advocate in my company and saying like, okay, this is gonna be big, guys. Like you don't realize it yet, but it's gonna be a thing. And so we need to start actually doing some stuff with that. And I started, like making AI do little programs and stuff. And well, progressively, I wanted to learn a bit more, to be able to use it better and to be able to like do better things. But I don't know what is an API. I don't know anything about like programming as anything at all. So I started watching a lot of YouTube and trying to get a feel for the field, to get a feel for what I don't know, to make a map. Like I went on roadmap, I think it's called roadmap.sh or something like that.
Yeah.
And I started checking all the things I don't know. And I think I found a video of the Primagen at the time. And the Primagen at the time was a Rust advocate, I guess. And he was into Rust, and I thought it was interesting. But the first thing that actually interested me was Vim, because I thought like looks super cool. Just Vim looks super nice, and the moves look super smart, and I can pretend that I'm smarter than everybody else, and so that's kind of nice. And so I started, I think, Vimming before I started actually coding. So just like writing text, writing things in Vim, trying to make it work, trying to quit it. So that was the start. And then I started looking a lot of video about, I think it's called No Boilerplate. It's another channel with a guy that's super into Rust. And No Boilerplate like sold me the idea of Rust really, really well. A language that is new enough that it learned from the mistakes of the past, that is well designed enough that it fascinates a lot of people because it is really, really well designed. So comparatively to other languages, it's a good choice, and it's safe. So it will keep and be like avoid a lot of foot guns that I will definitely have as a beginner. And so yeah, I started to get a bit fascinated with the idea of Rust, even if I did not know anything. And I had to choose one language to start, you know. And I thought, okay, I could start with Python. Python is good for language learning. It's probably better. In my case, since I want to do a lot of AI, it's probably a good idea. But I don't know, Python did not click with me. Like the environments were annoying, and I don't know, like it looks like a dumbed down language that I could not do the low level stuff, and there was a lot of abstraction. So I wanted to learn like the thing. And I thought, okay, so I looked at all the languages I knew, and I searched a bunch of them, and the only one at the time that looks like it was low level enough so that I can do anything, even from embedded all the way to, I don't know, web dev. And it was low level enough to high level enough. It was well regarded so that I was feeling a sense of pride in the idea of learning it. It was a challenge enough because, you know, everybody says it's not a good first language, but at the same time, it's very strict, and it's a good teacher in a way. You know, it will force you to teach, to learn about data structure, about memory management, about all that. So I thought it would be a very good foundation, and yeah, that's how I started with Rust.
Yeah, so
I think I like the idea of Rust more than Rust at first. Yeah.
So you didn't have like any other programming language history before Rust? Is that correct? Like,
well, I did or I vibe coded a few Python scripts basically, but nothing more than that. Yeah. No, okay. Rust was really my first language. Yeah. Still is. Yeah.
For me, it was. I mean, I had some experience with other languages, but I was not really enjoying what I was doing with them. For example, I was always into like terminals and CLI, right? And I was writing, I don't know, C, and then like the packaging of like the ecosystem of C and C++, like CMake, Ninja, and all that stuff was so annoying. So I was not really liking that. And then I switched to Go at some point, which was better, but like, yeah, I was not really into it. But then Rust was more like, you know, while you're writing the code, you feel like you're engineering something, and then like you're like, it teaches you to not make mistakes in a way. So I guess that was the same with your experience as well, because you said it's a good teacher, and that's actually like how I felt while learning Rust. And I was a bit lazy. I say this all the time. Maybe I should not say it, but I didn't like read the book at first. I didn't like do much reading, like in terms of documentation, because I was thinking, okay, I have used other programming languages, and this is just a programming language. I can just dive into it and I can just use it. But that wasn't the case, sadly. It was more like, you know, I was struggling a bit with the lifetimes and the borrow checker and the compiler errors and stuff like that. But at the end, I just like follow the compiler errors through, and then just, you know, research the topics, and then kind of like learned Rust at some point, at least the basics. What was your way of learning it? Did you like start reading the docs, or like did you just start coding, like wipe coding, or like what did you do? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, so I started by watching a lot of videos about the theories around it. So I like to, even I wasn't writing a line of code, but I would just like binge videos about how it works and things like that. So I get the vocabulary like that, you know, like what's a vector, what's an array, whatever. And so I got it like quite into it like this. And then I read the beginning of the book. I think maybe the 6 or 9 first chapters or something. And at first it was fine, but very, very quickly the book went way over my head, because it talked about data structure, it talked about memory, it talked about a lot of things that I had no idea about. And so I was completely lost on most of the programming concepts that they were using. So I started to do a mix of using AI, like asking AI a lot of explanations of all the concepts, like the general concepts, like what's an array, what's the thing, what's the difference between an array and a vector, like all those questions I would ask AI, and then take notes on that and make kind of flashcards so that I could memorize it with Anki, the app Anki. So I tried to memorize a bit the syntax like that. And it worked a bit, but it was not motivating enough for my ADHD because I did not feel like I was doing things and I was moving fast and there was a lot happening. So I needed some little wins, I needed to feel that I'm doing something that is like actually making an effect. And so I vibe coded. I think the first thing I did was an app to take voice notes, send them to OpenAI Whisper to transcribe them, then to GPT to make structured note out of them, and then put that into my Obsidian vault. And so I vibe coded that, and like you need to ask a lot of things to AI, and it gives a bunch of code. Most of it doesn't work. You need to understand a tiny bit for it to fix it and to like put it in the good places. So I did a lot of that, like a lot of vibe coding, basically by writing AI, like using AI to write code, then trying to make it work, then trying to understand it a bit, and then refactoring it a bit myself, and progressively doing a bit of it by myself. But then it got too hard very fast, and so I would get demotivated by working on my own. So I would use AI again, and I would feel like I'm moving fast. But if I use too much AI, then I feel like it's kind of depressing because I'm not learning. I'm making the AI do everything. So it gets a bit depressing. So I start coding again, and it was kind of a back and forth like this a lot. But progressively with that back and forth, like I would understand more and use AI better, but then understand a bit more and be able to code a bit more. And I think it was like, 5 months ago or 6 months ago, like maybe 6 months after starting to use Rust like this, I stopped using AI altogether and just like coded much slower, but alone. And one of the big projects that but we'll talk about that maybe later, but
Yeah, got it. So these days I'm using AI extensively for developing a app that I'm not really developing an app that is in a field that I'm not super familiar with, if that makes sense. So I'm making these music stuff, and I need to like visualize some data, like some waveforms and stuff like that, and I don't know anything about these things basically. So I'm just asking AI questions all the time, and sometimes my questions are in a way that they kind of make the AI do what I want, but not in a correct way. So I'm basically directing the AI in the wrong direction, if that makes sense. With my questions.
Because the prior conception of what it should be is not actually correct yet.
So I realized like yesterday or like 2 days ago, I have this implementation. It's working, but it's not working fine. So I was just like doing things wrong, and then I started reading the code a bit and started doing research, and then I realized I need to use another thing, and then I asked the AI another question, and then got something that is closer to what I want and more correct, right? I'm curious if you have ever like experienced something like that while learning Rust, because you're basically like in the beginning you're asking questions, but the questions like you probably don't have the background, all the background knowledge about the questions as well. You're just like super beginner. So maybe AI will put you in a wrong path, and then you learn something in a wrong way, and then you gotta like relearn it at some point. Have you ever experienced that, or like have you relearned any concepts in Rust?
Yeah, definitely. I think I learned or missed the learning of a lot of things because I was using AI for sure. But the thing is, for me, it never was a possibility to not use it, because I knew that I'm struggling with my motivation all the time. So if I don't find a way to keep myself engaged, then I will not engage with Rust, and I will just stop learning code. And so that would be a net zero, you know? So I needed to get myself moving and progressing. And so AI did pollute my learning in a lot of ways, I think, but it also kept me moving because I was feeling like I was progressing. And so at some point I asked, I learned like the basic of the syntax of Rust, and then I asked AI, like, it was actually like, a year to the day today, and I asked it like, okay, give me an interesting project that I can do that will make me use all the different data structures of Rust and like use all the basic syntax so that I can learn properly. And it suggested that I do a game, like an adventure game, RPG kind of style. And I started doing that. And I think like the first version I did was just print line on the terminal. The second thing it did was like it tried to push me to use Termion, and I later on like understood that I should have gone with cross-term from the beginning, and then I did all the thing with the terminal myself with cross-term, and then I thought, okay, maybe there's a better way to do that, and I found Ratatouille, which is how I found you. And so I discovered Ratatouille, then I tried to do it myself on Ratatouille, but there's like a bunch of different things I got wrong and are still wrong. And recently, like in the last, I don't know, like 4 months or something, I spent a huge amount of time trying to refactor alone, like without the AI, trying to refactor all the shit code, spaghetti code that I end up having maybe more like 10,000 lines of spaghetti code that I ended up having with working too much with AI, because everything was like all over the place. It's not that it's actually wrong, but it's that there's no coherence for the whole project. You know, it will have like an implementation here that uses A principle, and then here that uses B principle for the same thing. And it's all like not coherent and not compatible with one thing with another. And so it's a big mess. So refactoring all that was a huge learning experience for me, and stopping using AI together really helped. Yeah.
So tell us about this little game that you're working on since a year now, I guess, because you said you asked AI a question: what should I build to learn as many concepts as possible, or something like that, right?
Actually, I think I have the question just here. I was looking through my GPT just earlier to find that conversation. I have it just here. It's like, can you help me design a game concept that teaches basic programming skills? Start by asking me which programming language I want to focus on. Which programming do you want to focus on? Rust. And so it was like the first question I did. So beginner thing with a minimal understanding, like beginner level with a minimal understanding of basic Rust concept, syntax. I want to focus on syntax, and you just choose the rest. And I want it to happen on the terminal. So that was like the basic prompt I used to start. So
Before you go on, I'm curious about the terminal. Are you like specifically interested in terminals because of Vim, or like
I think that's the starting point. I think I like Vim. I really like Vim. I like the Vim motion because they feel like I'm playing a video game. Like I like combat video game, you know, like Tekken or Soul Calibur or things like that. And when I use Vim, I feel like I'm doing some combo stuff, you know, like you know, VAW things, and it feels like I would like to see like points with all the good combos I do, but it's a bit too hard for me to make that plugin yet. But
I'm a bit curious about, like, have you used like this graphical IDE such as IntelliJ like idea,
No,
PyCharm, and so
never.
on.
No.
So
I never did. I never did any VS Code. VS Code because I hate Microsoft, so I
yeah,
really don't want to be on anything Microsoft ever. I've been on Mac since I'm like 4 years old. My father was on Mac. He wrote his thesis on Mac, and so I've been on Mac for my whole life, and I hate Microsoft very bad.
got it.
I've been on Linux for a while when I was very poor and my computer was too shitty to run anything else. But yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
yeah.
I was going to say I was using IntelliJ IDEA or Android Studio because I was doing like Android development at some point, and there is one
Right.
plugin there that you can install. I think it was called Power Mode, which is like
Yeah.
when you press keys or like while you're coding, your screen or your editor shakes, like
Yeah,
it
I
shows them
think VS Code has
flyers.
something like
Yeah.
that. Every time you type a
Yeah.
character, it makes like kind of an explosion on the screen.
Yeah.
But actually, I would like some. I've played a lot of how it's called, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The game of skating, and in that game, every time you do like long combo or very efficient things, a very cool combo, you gain points and multiplication of the points. And I would like that in Vim. Like every time you do something with a very efficient combo, then you get multiplied 5 or something, whatever. And so it becomes kind of a point. And if you do like if you spam J at some point, then you lose your combo, or something like that.
I think there must be a plugin out there which does that. I mean, people built this for freaking IntelliJ IDEA or whatever. There should be like a Vim plugin that shows you some combos while you're like you're on a coding streak, or like you're pressing a lot of keys and stuff like that. Maybe there's something. We should look into it maybe later.
I think there's a guy that started developing something. It's called Vim Golf. It's a little bit different, but the idea is that you have like Vim challenges that you can do, and the most efficient like combo to do it gets the leaderboard. And so it depends on the number of key presses that you do, and sometimes there's like a combo mode, like a macro mode, which is the number of repetition that you can do for different problem with the same macro. And it's kind of fun, but it's not the reactive kind of point systems I would like. But
yeah. So
I think the terminal started like that. Yeah, for 2 reasons. I wanted to look cool, and I thought the terminal looked cool. And
yeah, for sure.
And then Vim, and maybe another thing also is that I wanted to start to do something, and making a graphical UI is very difficult. So the terminal was actually the first starting point that I could actually use.
Yeah. So you asked questions to AI about all of this, and it told you to build a game, and it said use Termion, right, in the beginning.
Yeah. Like I asked for a game because I wanted to build a game. I thought it was cool. So I asked for a game, and it said like, where do you want to build it? How do you want to build it? And I said I want to do it in Rust in the terminal, and that's basically the only thing I did. I said, and so it started with a very simple text game, a text adventure game. And I started with the fantasy stuff. It was basically a wrapper for AI. I would like I started without AI. Actually, I started with just like a few messages. Like you choose your adventure, you go to adventure B, and then adventure B, it happens this, and then you get one enemy. You can do either attack or defend, and things like that. Like very, very simple stuff. And I thought it was a bit like boring because you could finish it in 5 minutes, and I needed to write all the text, and it was a bit too long and annoying. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna wrap AI with that, and AI will write the text and the descriptions and what's happening for me, right? So I did a second version where I wrapped AI into the narration of my game, and progressively that changed, and I left the fantasy world to go to a cyberpunk world because I loved the cyberpunk universe that I was playing with my brother when I was a kid. It's called Shadowrun. It's a funny concept. It's like in 2050 or something, there's a comet that goes close to the Earth, and magic comes back to the world. And so there is magic, but there is technology as well. There's like the Matrix and elves and magic and stuff, and it's a big mess. It's kind of fun. And so I set my game in that universe, and thanks to my brother actually, who did my beta testing all the time, I sent him my game and he tries a bunch of things and he say, oh, this doesn't work, this is shit. And so I kept like improving the game like little by little, like this, by back and forth with my brother. And it got to a point where it's kind of nice actually. Now it's not yet completely done, but it's kind of nice. You can like create a character, and then I have integrated recently the images in the terminal, and I've got AI that says the narration, and I've got like a character sheet, and yeah, it looks okay. I think some of my friends have a lot of fun actually playing my game, which is something I did not anticipate in my learning project. But, yeah.
So before I saw your game, I didn't know about this whole concept of what was the genre of this game again?
It's called Shadowrun. It's
Shadowrun,
a cyberpunk concept. Yeah.
Yeah, and I basically like your game was the first game that introduced me to this new concept, and when I played it, I think I played it while we were on Discord, and you saw me playing it, and it was just very fun, and yeah, maybe we should do it in this stream too. But
Sure.
before doing that, so how did you like? You started out really basic with like a text adventure, and then you start adding more like stuff to it, and I wonder like how did you keep developing this game, because now it's in a very like complete stage. Have you like you started out with the UI, or like how did you work on, like how much time did you spend on it, and and then
how much time did I spend on that? It's like it's way too much. My first idea was like, okay, I'm gonna do a game for like, I don't know, maybe like 3 hours for a week or something, and then it's gonna be done. And it's been a year I'm working on it, and it's still nowhere close to be finished. And there's a lot of things that I want to put in it, and I'm like revamping the whole memory system of the game so that I can go out from OpenAI, and there's a lot of things to do. So many hundreds of hours, I think. But yeah, so the way I kept on developing it is that my brother is really annoying. He's super annoying, and so I would do a little simple text game, and I would send it to him, and he says like, oh yeah, but I cannot choose to do another things, and so it's boring. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do another fucking option for you. And then I send it back, and they say, oh yeah, but here like it's not displayed really prettily, so it's not great. And so I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do like a nice menu before. And so I did a menu on my own, and then he says, yeah, but it doesn't work on Windows very well. So I was like, okay, so yeah, but I don't like to type things so much. Okay, so I'm gonna do voice recognition, and so like things like that all the time. He had like every time a bunch of different things that didn't go well. So I would try to fix the things so that my brother would say good job and I had fun. But I think he'd never really played the game. Every time he finds a bug, he just jumps on it and just sends that to me. So yeah, like I think that really helped my progression in the game. And then the second thing is like when I started to use Ratatouille. Like Ratatouille is a very powerful library. I mean, but I thought it looks super cool. It looks at the same time old style of terminal thing, but at the same time quite modern, and it really matches the aesthetic of cyberpunk things. So I spent a lot of time like recoding the entire game from my own personal terminal kind of interface thing that I did on my own, so that it matches Ratatouille. And then when I start to do that, then I want also keyboard interaction to be nice, and I want to be able to display different things and to display different parts of the game. And so it just like, I think I embraced the scope creep, you know, like when your project is getting bigger and bigger. I just followed the waves every time so that I could learn most things, and yeah, here I am. You know.
At which point, while you're working on it, you started using Ratatouille, and like, how was the learning experience with Ratatouille? What would you say about that?
Yeah, I would say it was hard. It was hard because I think AI at the time did not understand Ratatouille very well, and I did not understand Rust very well when I started to use Ratatouille. So it was a kind of a bad mix, you know. And you did a lot of work recently to make the examples very clear and very detailedly, like well documented, and a lot of different examples and like helper examples to show the different like separation of the screens and how you can split the different elements and all. And this made the library so much more usable. But when I started, all of that was not here, and so the examples in the documentations were too hard for me to understand them properly, and so I just started with trying to keep one example and to follow the example exactly like it is, but it didn't really work for what I needed. So it was a lot of tinkering for making it work. But I wouldn't say it was completely the fault of Ratatouille. I think it was mostly me that did not read the documentation very well and did not understand what I was reading enough, you know. So that was that. But it was kind of difficult at the beginning. But when you start using it, you start like understanding how it works. And it was the first time I used a UI of any kind. So I have no React knowledge, I have no DOM knowledge, I have nothing like that. So I think there was a lot of things that I needed to learn at the same time as Ratatouille, which is the concept of an immediate UI, you know.
Yeah.
And so that was a bit difficult. And even now, I think there's a lot of helper functions I don't know how to make like to easily display different formats of text on the same like without having to write my own spans and color spans every time and color in the line, in the text, in the paragraph, and you know, like things like that I still don't optimize very well, I think, but it looks so much nicer than what I did on my own. That yeah, it's a fun road. But the example you did were amazing,
man. So we talk about like roughly a year ago, and we basically started Ratatouille like 2 years ago, I think, at this point. So it's very, very like expected that the AI won't have enough knowledge about Ratatouille, and these days it still isn't actually. I have a blog post that is like a bit old at this point, but I actually tried out ChatGPT. Well, it was, you know, like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago while we were very early in the project, like releases. And I was very excited because it was able to kind of use TweeRS and also some Ratatouille code to give you something semi-working in terms of the layout code. But that got better over time, but still, if you're using, for example, Copilot, and if you're like completing stuff automatically, you'll get frame size, but size is now deprecated, so it's actually frame area. But Copilot does not know that, so you always get like frame size. And also at some point I remember Josh working on some of the documentation of the library functions to help out Copilot a bit better, because we had some comment that was like instructing AI to complete in a wrong way. So I think he realized that, and then he was like, okay, let me just rewrite the whole section so that it will complete this better. So we're actually at some point like helping out the AI to help you write better code, and more like correct.
That's funny.
code.
It gives me like it gives me two opposite ideas. Like listening to you, you know, you could build a library with like purposefully misleading AI misleading comments, so that you're sure that anybody that uses the library is actually a human being, and that could be super fun to do, like to do some AI anti-prompting within the comments and within the code of the library. That could be fun. And another thing that every time I'm looking at a library or at a website or like documentation or something, I always wonder why there is not yet a button that is download an AI digest of the library documentation on a nice markdown file or whatever, so that I can upload that to my RAG AI, and then the AI understands what's happening, you know. Like, it's not very hard to do. It's just like you scrape all your documentation, you put it on a single file, and then, you know, and you put out all the HTML that you don't need, and then you upload that. So that is at the same time two different projects to me. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Somebody created an issue today in Ratatouille, and it was like, I haven't checked it, but it was something like, here's this website which is an AI generated documentation for Ratatouille, and it is pretty good. He said that, but I don't know, I haven't checked, so maybe people are now generating documentation from code or something like that. But it's very interesting that you said you could actually write like misleading documentation for just purposefully writing bad code. Well, if you're using AI, because this is maybe going on a bit of a tangent, but recently, a month ago or so, I saw a project, and this is not like coding related, but more like music related. So, you know, people are using AI to generate music these days, and you have to train the AI with some like existing music, right? And there was some guy who came up with this special algorithm or special encoding technique, which like makes your music, like puts your music in a shape that AI cannot train on, because AI is actually using the waves, like the visual form of music to train on it. Like it's using the waves, and then this guy's like encoding his music. It like sounds the same. You don't even like hear it while you're listening to it, but
the data is not.
Yeah, the data is not there. So it just like when you train your AI based on this encoding or algorithm, it turns out like completely different. You have a metal song, you train the AI, and you get like an ambient thing out of that. It's so crazy.
That's fun.
So it's a way to protect your work, I guess. And I'm afraid people might write like purposefully bad documentation just to avoid people writing.
But, you know, you could just like do a human guard, like, I don't know, putting a different color if it's for misleading AI, or if it's like, you could put the same as the background color if it's for misleading AI, so a human would just not read it, and an AI would just read it because it ignores the color tag, you know. It could work like that. But actually, you know, the guy I talked about at the beginning of the chat, Noble the Plate, he made a label that is called I think it's called BrainMade, and so the idea is that it ensures and certifies that the code and the application and the whatever art that is made is actually made by a human being with its own brain. And there are movements like that. So I don't exactly know where I am on that scale. I want to use it well, but not use it too much. I definitely realize that if I use AI too much, I lose the pleasure of writing that I get when I'm actually doing it myself. Even if I write shittier code than the AI is doing my own shit actually makes me prouder than just copying AI's slop. So there's definitely ways to use it well, I guess, and it's not easy to find, and I think it's a skill that we're gonna have to develop if we have the time to develop the skill before the AI evolves out of the need for it. But yeah.
Right. So I want to try out your game, but
All right.
my computer is like now going crazy for some reason. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to build it. I'll just try to build it in the background.
You can
real
just
quick.
you can just download the binary.
Oh, that's correct. Right. Also,
Actually,
I wanna.
you're the one that helped me to do automated releases, So
Yeah.
okay, that's one thing I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I think a big shift in my evolution in learning Rust happened when I stopped being alone in writing the code, because for a long time I was like always alone, and my brother would just try to look at the game, but I had nobody to talk to, nobody that would read my code, nobody that would comment it, nobody that would teach me how to do it better, except AI. And so I was it was a lonely place, but also I have no reference of good examples, But when I had a first version that looked kind of cool, I posted it on Reddit, and people started actually looking at the code and looking at the game and giving me feedback and all. And oh yeah, thanks.
No worries.
and that really helped. And I started to talk with the community, with you, that started mentoring me a bit, and with another friend of mine that's called I don't remember his there. I need to find it, because they helped me as well a lot. And so having somebody else to give me advice and look at my things and just like criticize the insides of the code I write, and not only the things that appear on the screen for the player, that thing was a big step up in my learning. And so thank you for that. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know how you discovered my channel and stuff, but I'm glad that you did. And I think you shared the game on Showcase in Ratatouille Discord
Yeah,
somewhere.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think
where I saw it.
I found you because I searched for Ratatouille content, and there's not a lot of content that you haven't done, right?
Yeah.
Most of the Ratatouille, like if you search Ratatouille on YouTube, it's basically you in all over the globe talking about Ratatouille. And so yeah, that's how I found you, and then I shared in the showcase in the Discord, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's pretty good. So I'm gonna download the binary. You created a release last week. Is that the
yeah, I think the last week is
up-to-date
kind of stable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
Like
do it in the background.
I'm working on a different repo right now to build a multi-agent memory system for the game master of the game. One that will handle how the memory is stored and what are the long-term storylines that I want the game to have, and another one to decide what is going to happen the right next term, and then another one to generate the text and the ambience and the feeling of the world. But it's still a work in progress.
And also using Rust, right?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I don't use anything else. I don't know any other language anyway. So I started to build a website as well. I don't want to use HTML at all. I'm only using Rust and CSS. And if I could write the CSS as a Rust struct, I would, So yeah.
That's a very good limitation. I like it. You cannot use anything else.
No, I cannot. I don't have the skills to use anything else anyway. So yeah.
You're good. Okay. So all right, I'm just downloading the binary. So
the binary.
Yeah. Give me a second.
It was really nice of you to teach me how to do automated releases, because I was doing like compilation for every target that people would actually look at, and then upload all the targets, and it was a big mess. But like cargo dist definitely helped. It's not maintained anymore, so that's a shame. But I have a workflow that works for me, so that's enough, I guess.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad because I showed you like cargo dist, and then it got like you know, it's
Killed
not
like
maintained.
3 months after.
Yeah, like it's now a pain to figure stuff out in it because it's not maintained and it's just giving you a bunch of errors and stuff like that. But you know, you can just switch to like a custom GitHub workflow to build binaries at some point if you wanna, you know, build, like if you wanna learn more about how to put something like that together.
Or
But
maybe I could start. I
yeah.
could start to try to maintain dist, you know, to fork it and to make a stable
Yeah, man,
dist.
just become a part of the Rust ecosystem, you know.
I'd
That would be
like
nice.
that. I actually like to like collaborate on open source somewhere, but you know, since I guess it's imposter syndrome, but since I learned everything on myself, especially since I learned everything through AI, I always feel like I'm really not good at Rust yet, so that I don't have like skills that might be useful for anyone yet. So I guess at some point I will have to find a way to start contributing and get a foot in, and maybe the community then will help me get better anyway. So
Have
not
you
exactly how to do that.
have you ever made like a open source contribution to any other project?
I mean, I have contributed to the Rust official documentation. So that's something. I corrected some example description that were misleading. So that's one thing. But I did very minor PRs on some projects, and I posted a bunch of issues, but seldom to fix them, mostly to report them. You know.
Mm-hmm. Got it. I think like also like are you like interested in? I'm assuming you're interested in like contributing to open source, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So
I think it's one of the best ways to learn like about Rust, but like I mean, programming is Rust. Like the rest of the language is just mistaken Rust. So yeah. I'm definitely interested in contributing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I guess when you start using stuff, you kind of see some opportunities to contribute, like some stuff to fix or some features to add, and I guess it's just like a matter of taking your time and just looking into things, and I guess it happens over time, you know. Sometimes I'm thinking like what would be the best way of starting to contribute to open source, but I guess the best way is just to start using stuff and seeing stuff break and then you fix them, I guess. So
yeah, but like how did you start? Because like you are all over the place, man. You're like a maintainer for Arch, by the way. You're a maintainer for like half of the Rust project on the planet. You are packaging all those projects for Arch as well. You're on Ratatouille. You're everywhere. Like how did you start on open source, and how do you find the time to do all those grinds?
Well, I started like you, man. I just had one project, you know, just working on it, and then I created another one, and then another one, and I used some libraries. I saw them, you know, they're missing something or they're not working as expected. So I contribute to those libraries, and then
When you say you contributed, did you report the issue, or did you actually start to fix them?
Yeah, you report the issue, and then you talk to the maintainers, and then you say something like, hey, there's this issue, I can fix it, I can work on a fix, or there's this missing feature, I want to implement this if you're fine with it. And then they're like most of the time
so you report
say,
the issue and ask for permission for fixing it first, and then they will give you some guidelines on how to do so or something, and then you try to do it, and they will correct what you think.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Or you basically go ahead and implement it and then send them a PR. That's also another way. But I mean, you can, the good thing about open source is you can do it like anytime. You don't have to like, if there, like the code is there, you know, you can just dive into it and read it, learn it, implement it, whatever, send the PR and so on. So after some point, I got bored from just working on my own projects, if that makes sense. Because like I have like, let's say 3 or 4 projects, and I'm like just stuck in there and like always using the same architecture or whatever. So
Right. Same tools and
yeah, same tools and everything. So you know, you start to branch out a little bit to different projects, and you kind of get involved in some communities. I was like in the beginning, I was active in Arch Linux, like IRC channels and stuff like that, or just the Linux channel on IRC. I'm not using IRC anymore, but you got the idea. Like you talk to people, and then you know, some idea comes to you, and you kind of like sit down and implement it, or share it with people. You build those things with those people.
But
collaborate.
that's one of the places where I'm actually struggling a bit is Rust is not a first language, right? Most people don't start with Rust, and it's even worse than that. It's like it's not the second language of most people. It's like a language for people that are really good at C or really good at something else, and then they think I want something even better, and then they go into Rust. And so it's like filled with chads everywhere. They're really, really good, and they're really technical, and most of them are autistic, and it's like really, really highly technical people that are in Rust most of the time, right? And so it's really hard for me to find a place where I feel like I can contribute something that has a bit of value for this kind of community of very good people everywhere. If I could get a foot in, then I would learn a lot. But I feel like everybody's so good, then maybe they don't want my shitty code, you know?
I think that's not a good way to look at it, I would say. I see Rust as a tool, and most people do. So your objective should be to build something, not write Rust. And you know, when you have this mindset, you can always like improve the code. You know, you can talk to people, you can always like make it better. But like if you have an idea that you're building, and if you have like these people around you, it's gonna happen either way. I mean, it's like you don't have to have the imposter syndrome or anything, I guess. Like not everyone is like super good at Rust. I'm not saying I'm like, I mean, I've been using it for a while, but I have known people that are just way ahead of me, and I don't feel bad while working with them, because you know, I have always something to learn from them, and it's a good thing. It's a good relationship, and you know, it's actually a positive to be around. And
definitely, it's a good thing that there's a lot of good people in the community. I agree with that wholeheartedly. The only thing is I don't know where to start, you know, to actually start getting inside the circle kind of thing. They're not pushing me away or whatever. They're not like, every time they've been very kind and like leading me to learn a bunch of things, but it's just, yeah, I'd like a simple little project where I can actually understand what's happening and help, you know. But I don't exactly know where to start.
So are you like you're like trying to find a project where you can contribute, or are you so what's the objective while you're saying like getting in a circle? Are you like building a new thing, or are you looking for something to contribute?
Both, actually. I'm building a new thing. Like, besides my game, I'm building a little app that will organize and prioritize all the to-dos that are as comment in your code, and then synchronize that with a to-do file on your Git repo, and then also ultimately put that into the project management API of GitHub. So I want to do that, and I'm working on that as well. So that's my little project for giving to the community. But I'd like to find a project, even Ratatouille or anything else really, but a project where I can contribute. I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that, I would say just using the community of the project itself makes more sense, because in Ratatouille Discord you can just ask us if there's anything to like any like good first issues, or you can just like find something and ask to the maintainers like, hey, I found this issue, it seems interesting, I want to implement it, should I implement it, or how should I implement it? And then we'll just give you like a description of what's needed, or what's the background and why this is needed, and so on. So I think the communication is the key when it comes to starting out with the contributions. Otherwise you'll feel lost, like you said, because like it's there are a lot of things, huge code base, and a lot of things to work on, a lot of things to understand. So you need to focus on a small part of the code base, and for finding that part of the code base, you need some guidance, and you can just like ask people, I think. I remember.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, communicate more about your desire to help and where to help, and allow people to help you better, basically.
Yeah. I like when I started out with my like open source and Rust journey, I was building this image capture, like video capture app for the terminal, and there's this crate called image, just image, like image crate for Rust.
Yeah.
And I wanted to contribute to that library because it seemed very interesting for what I'm doing. So I think I created some issues, or I commented on some of the issues. One tip is to subscribe to the issues for getting notified. Even though like you just looking at stuff, right? Even though you're not super interested, you just like subscribe. So something happens, you get a notification, email or whatever. So you just keep yourself in the loop. So at some point, there was one opportunity for a small PR. So I just basically jumped on that. It was just a small refactor, but I was just watching stuff in the repo, and then I saw that I contributed that. And while I was doing that, we were talking with the maintainers, I think, and somebody said, hey, let's move this module to this other stuff, and something like that. It was some refactor stuff. So I basically went ahead and did that as well as a follow-up, because I already got my hands on the
hands kind of thing.
yeah. So that PR was like super early though, because it was just like they were still discussing, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I did that, and it was just a draft for a year, and then it was merged like a long time after it was created, but it was merged. So I guess keep yourself in the loop, watch the repo, watch the issues, subscribe to them. If you want to if you have any specific project in mind, I think that's the best tip that I can give you, because you sometimes don't know what's the roadmap of open source projects.
Right.
We usually don't most of the time the roadmap is in the maintainer's head. You cannot really get into their head, so you gotta just subscribe to issues and just try to find a way to get in, or just communicate. So
right. I think I'll find like some there's a few big projects I'm really interested in right now, but they may be too technical for me. So there's one is called RIG, RIJ, RIG, and it's a library to handle database vectorization and embeddings for LLMs, and like chat with LLMs and local memory stuff. So I'm working on that right now. So it's quite interesting. There's another one that's called Dioxys. You probably know it, but it's so big and so complex that probably it's gonna be difficult for me. And there's Ratatouille. Definitely, I'm interested in that. And then besides that, I'd like maybe some small library that just handles very well some parsing of text from a code base and then does something with GitHub something, you know. So something like that would be interesting for me. So I'll search for something in this in this area.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, as a first step, just try to get into the loop by just following the channels and like the communication and then issues. I even sometimes like watch all the activity on repos just to see what's going on. That's what I did with your project as well, because I'm interested in where this is going. I'm getting some release notifications every now and then, also some issues. So yeah, I'm not the best person when it comes to managing notifications. I'm not even using GitHub notifications tab or like GitHub notification. I'm just using email. I'm an old head, but it's up to you to manage stuff. But I think getting notified and knowing what's going on in a project is a good start for contributions. It's a good first step.
Yeah, awareness of where to potentially collaborate. Yeah, that's a very good
exactly.
Point.
Yeah. So I have the binary. We can just give this a try if you want now.
All right.
I'm gonna share my screen with you and also the audience. All right, this is gonna be that.
Cool.
Give me a second. I need to fix the video.
Yep. Maybe you should put the API key first and then fix the video.
Yeah, so
it's okay. I delete it after the live. It's fine.
I have it in an environment variable. So
okay, nice.
It is OpenAI API key.
Yeah, but I think you need to paste it anyway in the game. I don't recognize the environment variable in the game yet.
Oh, okay, that's a good issue then.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Actually, let me quickly create that since we're talking about it. One sec. Can you check the stream?
Everyone, close your eyes. Thank you, Pharaoh. That seems like a very safe way to handle secrets for sure. Yeah.
All right.
No, but it's a temporary key that I gave you anyway. So I'll delete it after the stream. It's fine.
So support
environment secrets, I guess.
Environment variable for OpenAI or.
Yeah, well, right now it's OpenAI, but it's gonna be open to local LLM soon. So yeah, for secrets, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna just really quickly OpenAI API key. Okay, this should be enough context.
Yep. Thank you.
There you go.
Nice.
And you're checking for updates.
All right.
So guys, this is
your screen is not big enough. We don't get the art. You need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So you're also like showing images, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are showing images.
Let me run Western then, because I'm on Alacrity.
Yeah, Western is better for that. Yeah. Sure. Like, I don't know if it's good on Arch, but I'm using Ghosty and it's awesome. But Western is written in Rust, so that's good.
Okay. Is this good size?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right.
So you need to go to settings and put the API key in there.
Also, I want to quickly mention you have some language support as well for even for Turkish. So that's so neat.
Well, I have like 4 users. I have one English, one French, one Japanese, and one Turkish user. So, you know, I'm doing one language support per user I have.
That's crazy. Give me a second. I'm gonna quickly switch to the other screen and paste the key and then come back.
All right.
You'll see it, but the audience won't see it. One sec. Let me go here. So echo
Okay,
the.
actually, Enox, I'll try to do Arabic. Like you will make me work on my UTF-8 conversion and multi-language and multi-direction text. That could be fun. Actually, that could be quite a challenge of UI design. Do Ratatouille actually handle Arabic text well? I don't know.
Wait, I cannot paste it. I'm trying to. Okay, P.
Yeah, no, you just paste it. It's fine. You just enter.
Wait. It's just playing this sound effect.
Oh, that means there's something weird. No, it should be fun. Like I can see the. Oh, that means that's not a good version. Fuck me. Okay, so I had an error on an old version that did not validate the thing even if it was correct. Fuck. So okay, that's fun. Can you go to your home folder, and there should be a charad folder in which there is a settings.json thing in data, probably, yeah. And in there you can paste the key instead of null, and that should solve the problem.
Okay.
But that sucks, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Give me a second. I don't want to expose your key.
That's fine. We cannot see it entirely anyway. Okay.
All
so
right.
Yeah, that should have saved. I need to fix that quick.
So now it's there, right?
Right. Yeah.
Should I check the settings again?
If you go to settings, it should be valid. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Voice so you can put GPT-4o. I think it's better model, and then put the audio and output input on if you wanna try that.
I don't think I'll use voice input, but
okay, then just the output audio.
Debug mode. What does debug mode do?
So it used to do interesting things for me, like showing the number of lines, and like I struggle with the scrolling and the text scrolling in the main element, and so it used to show how many lines I get for how many characters on the side, and how many lines are shown and hidden and things like that, and also to show a lot more logging, so that I could track issues. But now that I have a logging crate, I don't need it so much anymore, so it's not very useful right now. You can put it off.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So start a new game.
Yeah, you can start a new game, and I put Vim style binding, so you should be at ease.
All right, just enter. No.
Yep.
Okay.
Enter, and then yeah, the game master is thinking, and it's gonna come.
Maybe I should have disabled the voice output because it's gonna read everything, right?
Right. Yeah. It is.
Okay.
All right. And so here it comes, but we cannot hear it anyway.
It's just reading from my laptop speakers instead of.
Okay, yeah, we cannot hear it in the. Well, I cannot hear it in the screen.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can
but
hear it right now.
Okay.
Can I like disable it right now?
Sure. Yeah, you can get out, and it should have saved. So, but maybe you have the old version. I don't know if it's saved if you got, but it should.
Should I just press escape or?
Yeah, escape. You go back to settings and and disable it.
It's very cool. You have all the state handling in the game. So, okay.
It should, but
yeah. So
I didn't save. So yeah, you get the old version. I don't know. Maybe I didn't push, or you didn't look at the good branch. I don't know. But yeah, let's do it again.
Anyways, let's just start.
It will save as soon as you have a character sheet available. It should. Yeah. So what kind of character are you going to build this time? Last time you were a rat shaman or something?
Yeah. I don't know. Let me think about it. So this is asking for character details, right?
Yep. It says welcome to the world, and you can choose your race and build your character. So either you choose everything and type everything, or you can just like give a few elements and then say to the AI to pick everything on its own and send you a character, so you can start the game quickly.
Okay, so give me an example, like a simple one.
Like you could be a rat-based shaman, orc, probably, or draw for orc. Yeah, orc. I think it would fit you well. An orc focused on rats, shaman. And you're living in the sewers, and I think that's enough context for it to start and do a nice character.
Okay, so do we have like a limitation on the type of the character, like a shaman or warrior or
so there are a few classes. But the AI should sort out your class depending on what you say you want to be. So that should be fine. But yeah, on the game there are different classes and different career paths, if you'd like, that you can have, like street samurai if you have like some cybernetic things inside, or like if it's a shaman, more nature based, like you have one focus animal, that could be the rat, things like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say something like, I am a should I start like this?
Orc, an orc rat shaman or something. Yeah.
I'm a big hairy rat.
Yeah.
With I don't know.
Rat shaman, because like you cannot be a rat. There's
okay.
only five races:
okay.
Human, elf, dwarf, orc, and troll.
Okay, I just saw it. Okay, rat shaman.
Big. Rat shaman, orc,
and that's it.
And live in the sewer and create my character. You can just like
living in the
ensure that the character is well done right away.
Sewer, and let me think. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, that's enough. Let's just use this and then go back and enter.
Yep. And then the game master's thinking. I spent a week understanding how to make that spinner spin. That was so difficult. It was my first real async problem that I had, that I needed to have like two threads, one that handles the spinning and the other one that continues the UI being responsive. It was a good learning experience.
Are you using the...
All right, so your name is Grizzle. You are an orc male, and you have your body. You're very strong, not very agile. You're very sturdy, and you're pretty good at magic, and you have very low charisma. So that's you. And then you get spell casting, unarmed combat, sneaking, negotiation, intimidation, alchemy. Yeah, that's good. That sounds good. Oh, and you get some money. Yeah, you get 10,000 million as money. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually more than most characters. That's pretty good. Probably it's because you live in the sewers, and so you don't have the cost of an apartment and stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. I have a knowledge of sewer navigation.
Right. Yeah, sewer navigation. That's very useful.
Okay.
And you can ask for the AI to create to draw your character so that we can get a nice image of who you are.
Draw my character.
Right. And then we'll start the story. So you get also two contacts, Doc Needles and Whisper. Probably Doc Needles is your doctor, and Whisper is your contact that it's called your Johnson. It's the person that will give you jobs and then things to do and things like that. So right now it's generating the image. So it will come in a minute or so. And so as Grizzle contemplates his next move in the shadowy depths of the sewer, his mind briefly drifts on the reflection of himself that dim, trickly water occasionally offers. An image of a rugged orc with a tattooed cloak, a leather utility belt, and sharp green eyes emerges in his thoughts. His black, unkempt hair and muscular build tell the story of a life lived at the edge, guided by the cunning and resilience of the rat. That's pretty cool. Like you get rat tattoos and stuff. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. All right, so you get an image. If you type tab right now, you should get the image. All right, but we've got an invalid something. So we've got a problem of sizing with the Western protocol. So could you go back? You should go back to the first resolution you had. I don't know which one it is, but right.
Damn, I look like this.
Yeah, you look good enough.
Yeah. At least I have some hair.
Right. I think that's pretty good. That's something I haven't figured out yet, like how to resize properly when we change the resolution of the screen. Not the resolution, like when you change your font size, it's not the same as changing the size of the window. And so it doesn't work, like it keeps the same fixed size of the image that it will sometimes resize, and then like it just gets on the side more and more. I don't really understand how it works yet. So yeah,
maybe
that's like Ratatouille image thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you need to do some pre-processing on the image before you show it, because you want it to be like very responsive and like always stay in the like same size, you know. But like when you change the font size, it changes the amount of cells that you can have in the terminal, which changes the available area for the image. So maybe make the image smaller if you have less cells. I don't know if that makes sense. But,
yeah. That's like I think is a resize fit option on the Ratatouille image thing that is supposed to do that. But it does it only when you change the size of the window and not when you change the font used by your terminal.
Oh, well, actually, it should be triggered in both cases. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't found how to do it yet. And I tried with the async resizing model, and I tried like with the sync one as well. I don't know. I must be fucking something up. But if you wanna spend some time in looking at it, I would love that.
But, for sure.
But it's in your data folder, your save folder, if you want to check your full image and show it.
Is it like in the home folder?
In the shared folder. There's going to be a save folder in which there's your yep, and then here there's an image, and
All right, this is us, guys.
All right. Oh, and you get a rat on your belt. That's all.
Damn. Wait, I'm trying to like zoom in. Look.
Okay, the rat is kind of fucked up, but it's nice. It's
yeah, looks good.
Like I cannot use the new GPT-4o image generation yet because it's not available in the API. So it's the old DALL-E 3. So it's not the best, but it's good enough.
Yeah. It's good.
It's not supposed to put writing though. I specifically told it not to. But so you get all your different like skills and stuff here, and then if you do escape, you can go back to the game and start playing.
All right.
So you can get right now you get a very free reign. You can do pretty much whatever you want. You can choose to do anything, and then the game will respond to that and start throwing like quests and possibilities at you, depending on what you do. But for example, you could call Whisper and ask if Whisper has a job or something.
So okay, should I type this in like third person or just as my character?
Anything you want. Like you can go anyway. But like usually it's more like an RPG style of things. So you would say like, I'm gonna go to that, or something. Yeah.
All right. So
The first person.
all right. Call Whisper for a cheese quest, and
Nice.
and okay, call Whisper and tell him to meet me at the depths of the sewer.
All right. In the depth of the sewer, yeah. Yeah, so you see, like what it's thinking. There's one thing that I always struggle to. You see in the character sheet, I've got some different like styling here, and sometimes I want to have like the full name. Sometimes I want to have the colors and stuff, and I don't know really efficient methods to style all those different ways of showing stuff. And also, like on the derive attribute, there is the limits stuff or the monitor stuff, right? And I have 12, like you have 12 physical monitor and 10 stun monitor. And this is actually a gauge. So if you take damage, it should put that down. And so I would like that to be like some gauge, so some like life bar or something. But I haven't found a way that is responsive with different string sizes to do that properly yet.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got an old comlink, and you can call whisper. You call whisper number, and it picks up, and then you wait, but there's only static. And it doesn't work. That's fun. So it doesn't really work, and your phone is kind of dead, and you wanna talk with the whisper, but it doesn't really work apparently. So you need to find a different way to contact whisper. So that's probably because I forced the game to not be always your friend. Because if you like the first versions of the game, like you could do anything. You say like, okay, I'm a dragon and I'm like super powerful, and the game will be like, okay, yeah, you are a dragon and super powerful. And so right now the game is a little bit more contradictory. So you try to call your contact with a very old phone, and your old phone did not like that, and it didn't work.
Okay. All right. Start chewing the cables to fix the phone line or something. I'm just curious.
Nice, that's a good idea. Yeah, and by the way, in the chat there's Trianox that is playing the game right now. Thank you, Trianox. That's super nice. Thank you. I'm looking forward. And he also made a pull request for the OpenAI env request squad as well. So we've got 2 pull requests for the same. Oh no, that's a pull request. That's not a.
That's an issue.
That's nice.
Oh.
That's not an issue. That's super cool. I will definitely merge that as soon as I get around to verify it. Okay.
Thanks, Trianox.
So.
All right, what happened?
All right, so you bend down the cable and you bite into the stick insulation. You chew it with a surprising precision, and it sparks, and then it works. The line is open again, so it actually worked. So, okay, so actually what happens, you see, there's 2 things that happen in the game. There's the part that is written crunch and the part that is written fluff. And those are terms from role-playing games. And the crunch is all the things about numbers and rules and like hard stuff, you know? And so in that crunch part, you did a strength and an agility dice throw. And the game actually threw the dice and did a generation of random numbers depending on the number of dice that you can throw and things like that. And you had 5 hits, which is a very high success rate. And so you succeeded to fix your phone with your skills, basically. And that's why it works now. So it's not just the AI that does the thing. The AI used a tool to ask the game to calculate if you actually can succeed the action that you tried. So that's nice.
Pretty cool.
All right, so you can talk to Whisper now.
All right. Tell Whisper to meet me at the closest sewer sewer
Nice.
opening. Also, come armed with some. Just armed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what will happen. So.
Okay. That's super nice. Like, I think that's maybe the second pull request I have on my game. Thank you, Trianax. All right. So with the comlinks connection restored, Grizzle dials Whisper once more. His voice a low growl as he speaks into the device. Grizzle, Whisper, it's Grizzle. I need you to the closest sewer opening. Bring your gear thing. Might get dicey. There's a brief pause before Whisper's voice comes through, clear and steady. Got it, Grizzle. I'll be there shortly, armed and ready. You got something big cooking? Grizzle nods to himself, feeling the anticipation build as plans begin to take shape. Whisper's presence ensures a layer of security, a necessary precaution in this world of shadows. As the call ends, Grizzle prepares to head to the meeting spot, the echoes of the sewer guiding his step. The shadow shifts around him as if eager to see what unfolds next. Yeah, so the pacing is a bit off because it should bring you to this next scene right away. But yeah, so you get a bit of time while waiting for Whisper. You can either do something or just say, I can just start talking to Whisper. You know.
Light a cigarette while waiting for Whisper to arrive.
Sounds like a very unhealthy habit, but sure.
Should I say like then start talking to him or?
Yeah, sure.
And start.
I mean that's your game. You can
talking.
You can do whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you can offer a cigarette to your rat as well.
Okay, I wish I did that, but whatever.
All right. So I haven't put the scrolling on yet, so you need to use a up bracket and lower bracket to scroll.
Okay.
But right. So it arrives in the shadows, lighting a cigarette. Okay, that sounds good. And then yeah, we've got a bit of a moment smoking, and then Whisper says, Grizzle, you know how to pick the spots. What's the word? And then you're happy that he makes it, and Whisper, we're heading on a little of a cheese quest. You say you're going on a cheese quest, man. Need you sharp and ready. This could get complicated. Okay. So let's go for the, like, maybe you should go and buy some stuff and some gear before starting the game, because that could get dicey. You know, cheese dice.
Yeah, so what should we do?
You should go to, I don't know, to the black market to buy some weapons and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You got some coin to spend as well, so. Yeah.
I'm going to the supermarket to get a
it's the black market, man.
No.
Get some cheese. All right. Okay.
So
good,
get a cheese knife and get a big kitchen knife for cutting cheese and some, I don't know, big,
and some gun. You need some gun probably.
bread sticks.
Okay, that sounds very efficient indeed.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. And so if everything goes well, I'm not sure that it's gonna work, but if everything goes well, your inventory should be updated when you buy stuff. So right now it's empty, but you should get some kitchen knife and breadsticks in there. Okay, you haven't actually bought it yet. So
did I steal it or what happened?
Oh yeah, try to steal. Yes, a good idea. That could be fun. Actually, you are being discreet and not attracting attention in the supermarket. You're already in stealth right now. So you could actually try to steal it. Do you have you have 4 in sneaking, so that's good. You have 2 in negotiation, so that's not as good. So yeah, maybe try to sneak and then steal the stuff. That sounds like a healthy idea.
Steal them.
Steal them all, yeah. That's good. All right. So you should get some maybe sneaking throws. So it's doing dice throws right now. And let's see if it works. All right. So you've got 1 hit. That's not good.
What?
That's not good, but it's enough. It's enough to swipe the knife and the breadstick. Okay. But it did not. Oh, you get a security camera that misses your move just in time. And yeah, that was a close call, but you actually succeeded. That's good. You can ask for the inventory to be updated because it missed that. I need to find a way to force it to update the inventory properly. Like sometimes it's forgetting to send the calls, the tool calls. So
yeah,
all right. Yeah, so you're out of the supermarket and you're armed with essential for this cheese quest, and you have a moment to plan your next move. All right, so what are you gonna do? Like, you can take Whisper and just like go on a cheese quest. What's your cheese quest, by the way?
Yeah, so
you can ask Whisper for what's the quest, because it's supposed to be Whisper that gives you the job. So
okay, let's do that. Ask Whisper about the details of cheese quest.
Yeah. Nice. All right, let's see how it goes. It's kind of unreal for me. Like there's like more than 10 people that look at you playing my game. It's awesome, man. It's just, I spent so much time on that, like alone in my terminal. I'm super happy that people actually looking for it.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Okay, so you use your negotiation skills to inquire about the cheese quest, and you get 5 hits, so you should get details. So back to the sewer entrance, the city lights casting a diffuse glow over the scene, and Grizzle turns to Whisper, curiosity piqued by the cheese quest's true nature. All right, Whisper, let's hear it. What's exactly are we diving into with this cheese quest? Whisper eyes glint in dim light, a knowing smile playing on his lips, and he leans in slightly, his voice conspiratorial whisper. Whisper, it's not just any cheese, Grizzle. This is a real deal gourmet grade black market, the kind that even the corpo paid top million for. Rumor has it there's a shipment coming through the underground, and whoever controls it controls a slice of the city's culinary underworld. We need to intercept it before it hits the surface, but be warned, it's not going to be a walk in the park. There are others interested too, and they'll be armed and dangerous. Whisper's words paint a vivid picture, each detail adding to the intrigue and potential peril of this venture. The cheese quest suddenly seems more like a high-stake heist than a simple retrieval mission. Got it. Let's make sure we're the ones cutting the cheese. The sewer echoes with possibilities as Grizzle and Whisper prepare to embark on this clandestine culinary caper. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we've got some cheese stuff coming, and you need to intercept it. So maybe some preparation of the terrain. You may want to go there and do some reconnaissance, or you can maybe, I don't know, call your rat friends to go with you. I don't know, like you just do you, man.
So it didn't really give us many details about what kind.
Yeah, you can ask for more. You can ask for more details. Yeah.
Can I just like make something up right now and kind of
sure.
kind of like okay, so head to the cheese.
To the docks. I think it's coming to the docks.
No,
they were saying like else. It's going through the underground.
Underground?
Yeah, I
Shipment
think that
coming
the
through the
cheese is
underground,
coming
okay.
to the underground. Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
But go ahead, like go to
Yeah,
the
I'm
cheese
just
factory.
thinking.
So if you say something that is like straight out of the storyline, it should say that no, that's not what's happening, and you're hallucinating, man. So it should not allow you to do things that are too weird, but it often fails. So
Head to the place where the delivery will happen,
Yep.
and watch.
Yeah, you can start to hide as well.
And hide in the shadows while listening to some smooth jazz.
All right, you get some jazz going on. That's good. That's good. All right. One thing that I cannot really change is the speed of the answer, and that's a bit. It's fine when you take your time thinking about what you do, but when you are in the action, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got 2 hits to hide, so you succeed to be hidden. Okay. So cloaked in the shadows of the city underbelly, Grizzle moves with the fluid grace of a seasoned shadowrunner. The rhythmic pulse and smooth jazz flows through its earpiece, a soothing counterpoint to the tension of the night. So that's good. You've got your ambience. You find a vantage point in old crates and stuff, and you start watching what's happening. And yeah, you are waiting for what's happening. So right now we have a pacing problem. So the game is supposed to drive the action, and you're supposed to react to it, right? But right now, I think the game is it became kind of a passive stance where it waits for you to choose what's happening and then reacts to that, which is not ideal. So it's probably a prompting problem that I did somewhere.
So should we choose the action now?
Yeah, either you can continue and choose the action and drive the thing, but it's kind of like laborious, or you can just try to like prompt it on the fly and just say, you should drive the action, just tell me what happens and I react to it, and maybe that will allow to get back to the reactive loop of what you should be doing.
So tell me what's happening.
Yeah.
And get to the real deal.
Yep, that's good. All right, so the delivery is imminent and you must decide how to approach what's happening. Okay, so there is a suspense in the air and you can see a group of figures entering the area. They are guarding some crates and they have a high value cargo. And then there's a tall figure among them that kind of a leader that is giving orders to everyone. And yeah, so there's multiple guards, crate in the middle, and you are hidden around that, and you gotta choose what you do and how you intercept the situation. So you've got your friend as well. You've got Whisper with you, so maybe you can get him to do stuff as well.
Okay, so tell Whisper no. Reveal myself with Whisper. Attack the guards.
What, the leader or something? Yeah, but you could maybe also send your rat and to bite their eyes or something.
Yeah, attack whoever those
guards are. Yeah,
guards are with breadsticks. Send my little rat to steal the crates.
Nice. That sounds good.
Okay.
Solid plan. And next message is also ask for kind of an update on your image of the character, so we can get a kind of a mid-action image. But
Okay.
Cool. All right. So you successfully hit the unarmed combat skills with agility, 3 hits, and you get to engage the guards with breadsticks as improvised weapons. Additionally, you command the rat with 2 hits on animal handling, so everything goes well for you right now. So with the jazz still throbbing in your ears, Grizzle signals to Whisper, and the two emerge from the shadows with unexpected bravado. The guards, caught off guard by the sudden appearance, hesitate for a crucial moment. Grizzle brandishes a breadstick in each hand, wielding them with the precision and flair of a seasoned fighter. The absurdity of the weapon choice doesn't diminish the impact as he strikes, delivering well-aimed blows that catch the guard by surprise. Whisper, moving with equal agility, joins the fray. The two of them whirlwind a whirlwind that of unexpected force against the armed guard. Okay, so it goes pretty well. Oh, the tiny rat's paws work quickly, gnawing through the bindings with practiced ease, freeing the crates from the restraints. The shadows seems to dance with excitement as the plan unfolds with surprising success. The guard, now recovering from the initial shock, begin to regroup, but Grizzle and Whisper are already in motion, their combined efforts ensuring the upper hand remains theirs. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think they should react right now, because like we cannot be always in the initiative, right? So you could ask like, what are they doing, and are you succeeding to get away or something? And then maybe it will trigger an action on their part. There's still a lot of improvement to make on that game. Like, there's a pacing issue, you know. It needs to be telling to you what's happening and not being so passive. So
yeah,
I need to fix that somehow.
Got it.
I think the new memory system will help a lot, because I will have like long-term story goals and mid-term, like short-term, what's happening right now. Okay, so the guards, momentarily disoriented by the unorthodox assault, scramble to regroup and assess the discussion. Their attention is divided between dealing with the immediate threat and securing the valuable cargo. Okay, so you signal Whisper, and you're like in stealth. Whisper follows closely. Yeah, that's pretty good. It looks like you're actually succeeding to do your escape with the cheese. So yeah, that's a bit anticlimactic, but it works. It works. You steal the cheese.
So should we ask for an update on the image?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like you could ask for a drawing of the heist scene or something. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
I don't know if the image will be replaced in your profile, or if we need to go and fetch it on the saved data. But
yeah, either way is fine, I think.
Yeah.
One idea before we take a look at this. Have you thought about like having some animation for for rolling the dice in the terminal?
Yeah. I thought about that. Like, I would like to have some rolling dice so that we know that some tool calls are happening, and so we could get a visual view of that. That would be nice. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Actually, I did an animation with just the dice characters. You know, there's ASCII characters for the dice on with the nerd fonts. But there's an error. It's not an absolute pass. Okay, so we've got an error here.
That's from Wine for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah. And Orhun games. That doesn't come from my game. Yeah.
No, that's not related to this. But it's probably doing some file operations which triggers something else that prints that error to the terminal. But it's not about your game.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
So you could probably the image is ready, so you can go on either type tab. Yeah, it's the same image, so you can check the other one. Yeah. All right, you became a rat now.
Interesting.
So it's written some shit, but okay, yeah. You become like a kind of a combat rat, and that's the breadstick that you have in hand. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. We need a better image model, but
Okay, yeah. At
but
least
the
I have the
guidance
6
is here.
packs. Actually, it's an 8
You have
pack.
the 8-pack. Yeah,
Damn.
it's pretty good. Which seems realistic enough. I think the AI knows you, man. Just,
No. But thanks. What just happened here?
yeah. So when you ask for the image, it actually generated the rest of the story, and
Mhm.
so you are being followed by the gods, and there are crates everywhere. But it went. Oh, it's actually did they caught you? No, it's just describing the scene that's happening. Yeah. So.
Mhm.
So no, it went pretty well, and I think it's describing the middle of the scene, but the image was not very nice. Yeah, so that's a very successful heist of cheese, man.
Good stuff.
So yeah, right now what I'm doing is like designing a memory system so that the story is more coherent and it's less AI slop and more directed scenarios and stuff. So I'm like loading the rules of the game and different scenarios and things. So it should happen maybe next week or the week after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also working on getting away from OpenAI because OpenAI is censored, and so it will struggle to talk about like sex and blood and death and things like that. So it will try to avoid those subjects, and that's kind of annoying in a game. So I will probably replace it with Grok that has no problem talking about all that, and that's going to be good. But Grok does not have a memory system yet, so I need to code my own memory system for it to work, and that's where I am right now. But definitely a dice animation. We need Arabic support for Trianox, and
Yeah.
and some environment support for the APIs. Or at least maybe in the setting file, we can do something with that. But
Yep.
what do you think we should change? Like, what's your ideas?
I actually like to see more visuals, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
like you said, you can add like gauges for the numbers instead of numbers and just text. Having gauge or like some other widgets would be pretty nice, I think.
Right.
For the inventory stuff, maybe some list or something like that would be nice. I don't know. Like more, I would like to see more interactivity in the terminal instead of just like typing. And while you're waiting for the game master, you could show the rolling dice animation. And I'm thinking like in my head, I'd like to see just the dice rolling in the middle of the terminal, and the rest is like a pop-up, but like, you know, you cannot, basically like a pop-up, and you gray out the background, like all the other stuff. You just have
and do a center pop-up with the dice animation thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice. And for the stuff that are happening, you could maybe automatically generate the images. Give me a second. This just ended. So that like you could make this as an option, like an auto image generation or something like that. So
right. Everything
playing,
every time there's something interesting happening, the image is being generated and stocked somewhere.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. And maybe instead of like, you could just show it in the UI, like in the terminal as well, when something is generated. So you just like generate it and then like show it, and then you just give the text. And I think that would be pretty nice. But maybe make this like optional so that, you know, you don't make a lot of
I will lack space if I want to do that. So I would put the character sheet maybe on the side, like hide it, and then have the image in its place, and then
You can have a
get an
pop-up.
image every time there's like a new action or something. And then when you want to see the character sheet, you can press tab or something.
I think you can have a pop-up for the image. Like
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so it just appears in the middle of the screen, and then you can just escape it. And yeah, that would be nice. Also, maybe it would be a bit difficult, but you might have another tab for as a gallery of images, so you can just go one by one and just see the progress of your game.
See the story or something, like what happened where. So one thing that we need for that is, like, we will need to generate images when it's something interesting happening. You know, you don't want to have like images all the time, because that's most expensive and boring, but like only at really nice steps. Oh, there's a message from TNX. Also, multi-step wizard at the start of the new game to gather information about the character and maybe generate the storyline there with the side quest and hidden storyline. Yeah, that's something I've been wanting to do for a while, like not allowing for complete auto generation of the character, but being able to choose your own attributes and stuff depending on the rules and how many points you get, and like character design basic stuff. But the thing is, in order to do that, I need to have a lot of interactivity with the terminal and with the different widgets and stuff. And man, that's a lot of boilerplate. I don't know how to do that efficiently. So that's gonna be a good learning experience. Maybe we could do that together with Orhun.
Yeah. I think at some point you will just you'll say something like, hey, let me just create this little framework on top of Ratatouille so that I can just use stuff easily for my game, because I mean, you have a bunch of stuff happening in terminal, and the fact that you can actually go back to the menu and like have everything running at the same time, like you made this thing very stateful and interactive with all the options and everything. It feels like it has a lot of UI stuff happening. I definitely see the pain when it comes to handling all of these things. Like, you might have like components, and like when you have that, how do you handle events and stuff like that? So
there's a lot of async things going on as well. Like all the AI needs to be async not to block the UI while we're waiting for the response, and the states needs to be like correct based on which save you have loaded and stuff. So it's a bit of stateful stuff.
But definitely a more, I think, UI improvements would be nice, like more interactivity, more widgets. I don't know what else.
Chat? We've got something from Freenox. Do we have something from Nicola Christophe? I don't know how to say that. Or Fero? I don't know if he's still here. Alice, do you have something? It would be nice.
The web version would be nice.
What?
A web version, like a website, or like.
Yeah. I want to do that with what you developed recently, like wasn't a compilation target for Ratatouille, but yeah.
It would be a bit of a pain with all the async stuff, though. I don't know. You might have to.
But if I use Dioxys, it should be fine. Like
maybe
that should work, because Dioxys is good at handling the async stuff and the server side. So if I put all the AI on the server side and then I just render the different components, it's not impossible, but that's really fun.
Yeah, another 2 months of refactoring for that, but
2 months, right. Yeah,
I don't know how
you're overestimating my capabilities there. Have a full-time job, and I'm trying to do my thing on the side. So that's not 2 months, unfortunately. But that's a good idea. A live version would be nice, like a internet version would be nice. Web version.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That was nice.
Yep. So
Have you
I'll
ever built
just
a game or something?
I mean, I did small stuff, but not something like this for sure. Like this is way over my understanding of a game, like a simple game.
Mm.
But I did really small stuff. I'm more into actually like the artwork of games, like making the artwork instead of the actual like coding game. So I actually want to like do that one day, just draw stuff and just see that come into like become a game.
Well, give me some text art, man, and I will integrate it in the game for sure.
I was actually doing a bunch of not a bunch, but some pixel art
from Trianox as well, like maybe a background agent to manage tension management and adaptive difficulty based on player action could be nice. Yeah, I'm working on that actually right now. That's what I say when I said like I'm working on a multiple agent concept with one agent that manage memory and tension and storyline, another agent that manages what is happening exactly right now depending on the rules and the character skills and stuff, and another agent for the narration and mood design and things like that. And so those three should work like at the same time and co-build the answer, and it should be ready next month or something. But yeah, it's a work in progress. But thank you for the suggestion, Trianax. All right, sorry, you were saying something.
No worries. So I'm basically doing like pixel art.
Oh, those are nice.
Stuff like this.
Yeah, I like the little octopus. It's cool.
Yeah, this is actually a logo of one of my projects.
Who is it? Which one?
This one.
Up?
It's like a little CLI for. Yeah.
What's it doing? A CLI tool to help with CLI tools.
Yeah. So the idea was to let me give you a demo. So there's this NVim binary, right? And I want to get the help output for it, and sometimes it like -h, sometimes it's dash help, sometimes like capital H. So I was like, I don't want to like try out every combination. So you just like do help and then NVim. It just tries it for you and just gives you the help stuff.
Okay.
And
that's fun with the little octopus thing. It's like a TLDer for finding the help page.
And cool. If you really want help, you can do some like help please NVim, and then it shows that you can just select one of these actions. It can show you the man page.
Cool.
And like cheat sheet, like, or I don't know, it's not showing anything right now, but if you do ls man page cheat sh.
That's nice. That's nice. Like for NeoVim, you should be able to pull out the manual as well, because the manual is like intense and there's like hundreds of hours of manuals in Vim. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just like tries to run some commands basically.
And what's the UI system that is that Ratatouille? I don't think so, right?
No, it's just clap, I think.
Oh, it's clap.
Or
the selection thing with the little
that's not
diamond.
Clap. It's a crate called Dialogger. So
Dialogger. Okay,
Dialogger,
cool.
yeah. This one.
It's like a gum from Charm or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like dialogues and selection and stuff like that. They don't have a demo, but yeah. So nice. Yeah, this is a very like small project.
That could be something nice for Ratatouille to have, is some form of immediate external component like gum. You know, so some yes no confirmation stuff, like just a little pop-up in the middle of the screen, or some outside of a full TUI, just like have little widgets to do your CLI thing. That could be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it exists already.
I remember something like that, but prompts or something, TUI prompts. Maybe this one.
Yeah, I missed this one. Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's actually from Josh. So.
Oh, everything's from Josh. Josh is like the another one like you, is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I just sent him a message, just like saying, I saw you everywhere again. Every Rust project I look, there's a Josh comment somewhere. And so I just sent him a message like saying, thanks, man. It's nice for you to work so hard at making Rust awesome online. But
yeah, he's awesome, man. He's I really look up to him. He's just doing a bunch of shit. I think he was doing stuff in Tokyo as well. I mean, look at this profile, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How wow, this Git history, man, is just like, that's Git porno, right?
Yeah.
How there are some people that have more than 24 hours in a day. I'm telling you, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. It's just, I think he works very efficiently or something.
Yeah, but he's also everywhere, like putting messages and reviewing PRs and stuff, and it, like he's super active and very nice.
He's also very.
You have something that alters the prompt based on what I select with the mouse or clipboard. I don't know if I understand what you mean, actually. Something that alters the prompt based on what I select with the mouse or clipboard.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think Josh is an AI? That's possible, but if that's true, then we're fucked, because AI are way better than I think they are.
Yeah, I was actually thinking, like, when he first appeared in Ratatouille in discussions, I was I was wondering if he was using AI, because his answers were just too elaborate and too, like, on point, you know? Like, he was always, like, bringing something useful, and also, like, big paragraphs of text. So I was like, maybe he's an AI, but then he turns out to be not. Maybe he is, I don't know. I never seen him in real life, so we never know.
And his image is AI generated, so he's probably an AI, but just maybe GPT-45 coming back from the future or something.
Probably.
We got some message from Sebastian. Yeah. Do you have something that alters the prompt based on what I select with the mouse or the clipboard? I select an IP. I usually do DNS lookup, etc. Or I select a pod name and I do kubectl get pod, or I click on the package name and it does pacman sui, but based on history or context.
Are you like asking in terms of the terminal, like? Yeah,
terminal tool CLI stuff, like that's what he was looking for. And I think you have a few of those. Like there is a pod explorer in Ratatouille, I think.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Like
there are actually multiple ones
for the Ratatouille. Yeah. There's probably some DNS lookup as well, but I don't know if there's one that does everything based on history or clipboard context.
Yeah, there's this one that I know. This is not a complete list, by the way. The awesome list. You should probably
needs updated.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then I just add like 10 tools to it, because more stuff coming out every week.
That's good. I mean, Ratatouille is doing well. Every time there's somebody doing a TUI in Rust, I only see Ratatouille coming up, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So you need to look into the crates basically if you're you're looking for something.
I think maybe looking at the awesome Ratatouille page would be a good idea for finding tools like that. But I don't know that there is something that does that immediately based on context, clipboard context.
I actually have a idea for a project. It's I don't know. I can build it, but I don't have time. If anybody wants to build it, I'll be happy to use it.
Tell me, I'm interested.
Yeah. So, the idea is like a Twee marketplace or like a Twee browser for Twees. Imagine you
to list them and to put them and
just to install and run them basically. So imagine you're on a new you're on a random terminal that does not have anything, and you want to like run some Ratatouille stuff, like I don't know, Twee, like I don't know, you're in this Ratatouille ecosystem, you know the tools, you're using them in your workflow, but you don't have them, right? You don't want to like install them individually, you don't want to run cargo install for each of them and stuff like that. So you just run this single commands, something like cargo install, Twee browse, Twee explorer, right. Twee marketplace, whatever. Not a marketplace, we're not selling anything, but you get the idea.
But like maybe something like lazy vim extra panel or there's a Bob something, I think, like this version manager for NeoVim. There's things like that when you can check the things that you want and it installs them immediately. Like Mason does that as well for NeoVim.
Yeah,
maybe something like that, but for Twee.
Yeah, basically for installing things quickly.
And how would you install it? Like, would you just run the commands for each, like the specific command for each Twee, or would you like build a installer within the tool?
So I think this will be very generic, like just installing the binaries. This is not very secure, but like just like go to GitHub, or maybe just have a like list of available things, and then you have the download like links or like artifacts, whatever, binary links, whatever. And then,
we could have curl sh commands or something that everybody that wants to register a terminal like a Twee in that tool could give like either the binary address or the curl script to install it, but it's dangerous, like in terms of security. It's not great.
Yeah, so I don't know, I think it'll be fun. I mean, I would use it sometimes, maybe instead of doing that, like instead of installing it, you could just browse the available things and like see everything in a list
and just go to the site afterwards.
Yeah, or you can just say press a key and they will just run cargo install for you. Yeah. But like the thing is, I want to be
discoverability is important.
Yeah, basically something like that. It's a very basic project. It's not like, I mean, you can just go to the awesome Ratatouille repo and just find stuff there. But
just download all the list of like cargo install awesome Ratatouille, and then you get all of them.
Actually, funny thing you say that. In Arch, you can add groups to packages. So you can say like you can group like multiple packages. Let's say you're using Wayland, you can have a Wayland group, which means when you do pacman as a Wayland, it will install like 20 packages, right? And I was thinking of creating a rat group, but just the mouse emoji, like rat emoji. Like
nice, yeah.
And then you could just like pacman -s and just
pacman
rat emoji,
and then boom.
And it will just install all the Ratatouille tools available in Arch.
Well, you got to do some confirmation thing before that. You got to do like, do you want all of them, or like all of them, or do you want the essential ones? You got to do something like rat and cheese for only the essential one, and just like rat for all the rats.
That would be fun. I think the other maintainers will be very pissed off by this, but whatever.
Yeah. But like using emojis as triggers is a risky bet, but it's fun. Like, can we use it as variable name in Rust? I think you can put, like, I think you can. Like, you can put some weird, like, delta and stuff as variable names, so...
I've never tried it. It's a good
You shouldn't,
question.
but...
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. I never needed that. Yeah. So
let's do rat.rs. It's a script that is entirely written in rat emojis and cheese.
You could actually have a like website, like a domain, for like, I don't know. I remember there was one guy who was just using like Japanese characters.
Yeah,
and just put in that thing and just like redirects you to the website and it works. So maybe we could have like a actual rat emoji .rs or something. It would be very hacky, but yeah.
That could be fun. Yeah. It's it's very nice in like, you know, I live in Japan and I'm using a Japanese keyboard, and typing emojis is very efficient with the Japanese system, because you're always choosing which character you want to do for which pronunciation. So you can just type rat and then it will like propose, like tell you, do you want the rat emoji thing, and you just press space or enter and then you get it. You know, it's very, very easy to enter.
Yeah.
You should learn Japanese just for that.
I would actually visit Japan at some point, but let's see.
Come, man. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, maybe November. We'll see.
Looking forward to it.
How's the weather, or like how's the vibes in November or like December in Japan?
December is kind of cold. It's kind of cold. If you go to the north of Japan, there's amazing snow. So if you want to do some skiing stuff, it's really good. But besides that, it depends where you go. But if you go in the north, it's quite cold, and the rest of Japan is kind of wet cold, so it's not very enjoyable. But the best times are really fall and spring, because in spring there's like sakuras everywhere and the weather's perfect. And in fall, the weather's perfect as well, but all the leaves are super red and yellows and stuff. It's beautiful. So it's really like spring or fall. And the summer is hot as fuck. So you don't want to be there in summer. It's like, it's a sauna. It's absolutely awful. You spend a second outside and you are sweating balls. So no, not a good idea.
Yeah, good to know. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
We'll talk about this later.
It was fun. Yeah, let's do that.
Thanks for making this happen and, you know, chatting. It was really fun, I think.
It was a pleasure. この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Yeah, that means like this emission is presented to you by our sponsor, basically. Yeah, but they say that a lot in manga, in anime.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
And
thank
also
you.
Thanks
for the chat. Thanks for showing the game and all. That's super nice of you. And thank you for the as well, Trenox. Thank you.
And yeah, thanks everybody who joined and watched us talk a bunch of shit, I guess. So
and rat quests.
Yeah, rat quest. It was fun. Yeah. I'll see you guys in Discord. Actually, let me just plug my Discord real quick.
Yeah, link the Discord and all. Yeah.
We are very active, I would say. Just sharing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a really nice Discord, and people are really nice. Like, we just have a zero no grind policy, so it's only grinders over there. But...
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Orhun. Have a good day, I guess. I'm gonna go to bed.
Gonna go to bed. All right.
Yeah.
My day just started, but all right. Good night then, or good day, everybody. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.